Welcome to Mind Your Health podcast, dedicated to empowering you on your journey to optimal wellness. I'm your host, Dr. Connie, bringing over 25 years of experience in psychology, nutrition, physical therapy, functional medicine, and yoga. Together, we'll explore the interconnectedness of mind, body, and spirit, providing you with the practical insights and holistic strategies to elevate your health. Let's dive into today's episode and take a step closer to a healthier, more vibrant you.
Hey everyone, this is Dr. Connie. Welcome back to my podcast, Mind Your Health. And this is Dr. Connie, of course. And today's topic is all about when wellness becomes a war against yourself. And I really want to share a deep, heartfelt story about my journey from self-rejection to true health. And what I deemed true health has drastically changed today. And I've been in this wellness and health space for as long as I can remember. What started out as something to really control the way I looked, because I grew up in a environment where I wouldn't say perfectionism, but I grew up in a very critical household and everything was nitpicked about your appearance. And appearance was a big, huge deal in my family for whatever reason. And I felt like I needed to do everything I can I remember in my teens, to try to look a certain way, really, not even feel a certain way. So it's just exercising until exhaustion, body punishment for eating one too many cookies, things like that. Okay. So I know that this hits home for many of you because I've been in this industry for a long time, which is 25 years. And this episode is deeply personal. It's a reflection, a truth telling, and honestly, something I think so many of us need to hear, especially those of us who's been chasing health and wellness our whole lives. I want to talk to you about something I've never fully unpacked publicly. It's my relationship with myself, my body, and how I once called healthy living was actually fueled by something very unhealthy underneath, which was self-rejection. I didn't know it, of course, at the time, but this was exactly what was going on. You see, for most of my life, I truly believed I was being healthy, followed all the rules. I ate clean, I never missed a workout, I read all the books, and in retrospect, in teenage years, I did have some eating disorders because I was fearful of the foods I would binge and purge, and there was a little bit of that, but I mean, it wasn't so bad that it affected my health. I kind of snapped out of it quickly. I followed all the trends, tried all the supplements. I looked like I had it all together. And in many ways, I really did. But underneath it all, I was driven by fear. Fear of gaining weight, period. Fear of being seen as lazy or undisciplined. And fear of not being enough. My habits tended to be very rigid. I tried all kinds of diets, being a vegan, vegetarian, and it was one of those things where I would get invited over with my family and I would have to announce, hey, I can only eat this. And that was, I think in retrospect, my way of controlling my intake of food. My self-talk was very harsh. And though I called it wellness, it was really just more socially acceptable way of punishing myself. I measured my worth by how flat my stomach was, how my clothes fit, and what scale told me that very day. I know I'm not alone in this. So many of us, especially women, have conditioned to believe that our bodies are projects to be fixed, not vessels to be honored. And that the goal is to shrink, to become smaller, to take up less space. That wellness is about appearance, not vitality. And I made that mistake for so long, and I believed that for so long. And so we pursue thinness under the guise of health, when really What we're chasing is love, acceptance, control, and safety. My biggest thing was control. I bought into the belief that I could just achieve, or if I could just achieve the perfect body, everything else would fall into place. I would not forgive myself for any jiggles around my waistline or anywhere on my body. I'd be more, if only I can achieve that body type, then I would then be lovable, more successful, and happier. But let me tell you, thinness doesn't fix anything. It didn't silence the inner critic. It didn't bring peace. If anything, it made things worse because no matter how in shape I looked, I was never satisfied. The bar kept moving. The standards kept shifting. And I kept chasing a version of myself that didn't exist. And plus, as you age, things do change. And, you're waging against like gravity, the laws of nature. And the truth is, I wasn't building health. I was building resentment toward myself, toward my body, and toward life itself. I was constantly in a state of judgment, control, and comparison. And I didn't realize it then, but I was living in a trauma response. I was always hypervigilant, perfectionistic to a flaw, disconnected from my body's wisdom. I didn't know how to rest. I didn't know how to trust. And I certainly didn't know how to love myself without these conditions. And over time, that took a toll, physically, emotionally, and spiritually. My hormones were out of balance. My energy was tanked. My digestion was off. My nervous system was fried. I may have looked healthy, but I wasn't well. I wasn't feeling well. I'm now in my 50s, and you guys know in the last 4 years that I've struggled through my kidney failure, and kidney failure makes you look really bloated and swollen because you're not able to filter your blood or the fluid out of your system, all the waste. And when my kidneys failed, over 5 days, I gained 20 pounds, just pure water weight. I had pitting edema all over my body, and it really sent a shock to my system. And the toll it took on my mental ability to reconcile the changes that my body was going through, that was devastating. That conversation or that discussion, it will save for another day. But I just want to say in my 50s, things started to shift. Not because I gave up, but because I woke up, especially now with kidney failure. I started asking myself different questions. What if healthy wasn't about how I looked, but how I felt? Because the truth is, you guys, I own a hot yoga studio. It's functional yoga medicine. I practice functional yoga medicine. I know everything that you need to know about nutrition. And yet, oftentimes than not, it's hard to adhere to certain ways of eating, especially in my condition right now. And there were days where I couldn't get up to go do my yoga class, or I would feel so faint that I just couldn't get myself to do anything with my body. And no matter what I ate or didn't eat, the pounds kept stacking up because of the kidney failure. And that's when I started to really shift and really thought about how I can maintain my health. And my goal now isn't to look a certain way. I just want to be able to move. I just want to be able to live. I just want to do daily activities without feeling so depleted. And it's really funny because I look so healthy on the outside, but it takes everything in me. The energy isn't there. And with the hormonal shifts in my 50s, I can really feel the difference. And slowly, very gently, I began to untangle myself from the old patterns. And I stopped worshiping the scale. I stopped chasing a certain number or clothing size. I started listening, really listening to my body. And that's what my work is. And that's what I'm sharing with you guys. What do I need? What is my body trying to tell me is what I tuned into. I learned to eat not to be skinny, but to be strong, energized, and alive. I moved not to burn calories, but to feel powerful and present and strong. I rested not out of laziness, but out of reverence for the temple I live in, this body of mine. And the biggest shift, I started to treat myself the way I would treat someone I deeply love, with respect and care. That didn't happen overnight. It still is a process. Reprogramming decades of conditioning takes time. But every step towards self-love has felt like coming home. Now in this season of my life, I realize that true health is freedom. It's the freedom to be at peace with your body, to move through the world with energy and confidence, not because of what you look like, but because of how you feel on the inside. Because that's what translates to everything that I do. It's the freedom to eat a meal without guilt, to enjoy movement that honors your body, to look in the mirror and not tear yourself apart, but say, thank you. Thank you for carrying me through. And so I want to leave you with this. If your idea of health is making you feel worse about yourself, if it's rooted in shame, punishment, comparison, or fear, that's not true health. It's just another version of self-abandonment. You don't have to earn your worth through your body. You don't have to suffer your way into self-acceptance. There's another way, a gentler, wiser, and more sustainable way. And you and I, we all deserve it. We deserve relationship with ourselves that is rooted in kindness, not control. One that is built on trust, not fear. One that allows you to be fully alive, not just aesthetically pleasing. I'm sitting here. I got a call today for a potential kidney transplant. I'm waiting. I'll know more tonight. And earlier this morning at 5 o'clock in the morning, I was on the machine being dialyzed. And this is not something I used to openly talk about. But I think if we can shift our perspective to say, I'm able to do that and stay alive. And for me, that is gratitude, because I learned through this phase of my life that gratitude is nothing other than really being thankful for everything that you have, no matter how bad they may be, just holding steady in your faith that all will work out, that in fact, everything's working for me, not against me. And just pure acceptance has brought me closer with myself. I'm able to have and cultivate better relationships with other people. I'm a much better practitioner because of it. And I just want to say, this is the journey we're all on. We do our best until death do us apart. And I've certainly seen and felt and smelled closely death knocking at my door in the recent months. And I value my life. I value your life. And I think the biggest gift that we have is ourselves. And we need to honor this. And this is the journey I'm still on. And if any part of this resonates with you, I want you to know you're not alone. And it's never too late to start coming home right here to yourself. And I just want to say, there's going to be bits and pieces of things that I will share. But the biggest lesson I learned through this phase of my life of, dealing with kidney failure is how short, how amazing our lives are, and really count our blessings and start smelling the roses, the flowers, the change of season, nature, and really connect deeply with yourself, because we're not here forever. We waste so much energy on frivolous things that don't really matter in the end, So thank you for letting me share my story. If this episode touched you, please share it with someone you might need to hear it or who might need to hear it. And if you're ready to reclaim your health, not from a place of punishment, but from love, I'd be honored to walk with you. And I have many different programs. We have now functional yoga medicine program or membership, online membership, that you can connect with me anywhere you are. It's a monthly platform where there's content shared, and it's all about your nervous system and controlling and bringing better health back inside and empowering you to do exactly that. So the links will be shared below. You can check me out at Dr. Connie Chung on Instagram, I'm pretty regular there, as well as I have a wellness studio and a medical practice in Suwanee, Georgia, functional yoga medicine. You can also visit there, functionalyogamedicine.com. Thank you so much. Until next time, be well, be kind to yourself, and remember, your body is not your enemy. It's the messenger, the guide. It's your ally. Listen to it, honor it, and love it. Have a great day. I'll see you guys all later.
Thank you for joining me on this episode of Mind Your Health podcast. I hope you found our discussion insightful and inspiring. Remember, your journey to wellness is a continuous process, and every step you take brings you closer to optimal health. If you enjoyed today's episode, please subscribe, leave a review, and share it with others who might benefit. Stay also connected with us on @Dr. Connie Chung on YouTube as well as Instagram for more resources and updates. Until next time, take care of your mind, nurture your body, and honor